Welcome to Genzoya Noodles, where guests excited to taste a new menu are lured into a magnificent mushroom-infested biopunk noodle bar, uncovering a plot that forces them to ask, is the food really all it says on the tin? You might not recognize us since we are new recruits, having only been here a month. So I'm Becca, a creative writing student at the University of Warwick, currently on a year abroad at the University of British Columbia.
Hi, I'm Lars, an architecture student at the Oxford School of Architecture. But today we are here as representative members of the Transgenic Comestible Collective, also known as the TCC, here to show you our new initiative.
The environment around us has changed. What was once a natural and diverse planet with lush greenery, picturesque mountains, and deep red deserts was flattened and overtaken by cities cultivated by greed. Now the landscape is returning to power, with fungi seeping into cities. Driven by the need to adapt to this new environment, the Transgenic Comestibles Collective is an initiative dedicated to investigating how the genetic enhancements of species can be executed using food. Looking to advance our technology, we have chosen Genzoya Noodles as the host restaurant for our first human trials, and you are our test subject.
Using a buzzer dispensed to you after ordering, you are invited to explore the restaurant, unveiling new clues to what is happening. However, you should be careful for the professor, leader of the TCC, who is always on the lookout. He doesn't take well to meddlers. This is a gamified counter-service restaurant experience set in a biopunk world. The game narrative will form an exploration game with puzzle elements and mini-games. Our restaurant and experience would be situated in a theme park, providing a unique approach to theme park dining and extending the guest experience.
So, why have we chosen counter service? All too often, immersive dining experiences tend towards sit-down or high dining options, whereas, as illustrated by the picture to the left below at the slide, theme park counter service options often remain unthemed, much like their out-of-theme park counterparts illustrated above. We wanted to reinvent this and apply a gamified dining experience to a new format. We chose counter service for its applicability to the linearity of gaming narrative, being split up into several tangential stages: ordering, finding a table, eating, waste disposal, and exit. We also appreciated the possibility that the casual dining format offered for exploration, with less stationary seated downtime. Throughput is also enhanced by this minimization of seated downtime and the fast food nature of the experience. Lastly, we were interested in creating a price-accessible experience relative to other dining experiences and saw counter service as the perfect opportunity to offer this.
But why biopunk? Biopunk as a genre is rooted in discussions about our environment and the growing power of science and technology in society. Choosing a biopunk setting has allowed us to explore discussions surrounding our ecology and current global climate. It also allows us to call for sustainability action, particularly through the disposal stage. Furthermore, our narrative also comments upon the scientific interaction with food networks and bodily autonomy.
So why this method of gaming? Exploration gaming is the perfect format for this dining experience as it allows for guest autonomy with regards to levels of interaction. Further interaction is rewarded by enriched narrative, but equally a lower engagement is absolutely possible. Exploration gamification also allows for enhanced replayability as there are numerous exploration points that cannot be visited in one experience.
Who is our target market? Our target audience is both older families with teen and young adult children and independent teens and young adults with their friends.
So our characters. Professor Maddox is the leader of the Transgenic Comestibles Collective. Solemn and seclusive, he is rarely seen and heard of even less. Still, he breathes through the very walls of Genzoya Noodles via his experiment, responsible for everything you see and experience. If you look hard enough, you might even catch a glimpse of him as he evaluates results from the secluded safety of his laboratory. At the order points, customers meet the delightful AI Maggie. Created for a life of stationary servitude, Maggie has seen constant revolutions of customers, and it's always the same: impatient indecision and not a single uttering of gratitude. Still, she is forced to stand there day in, day out, taking everyone's orders as their grubby little hands poke at her screen. She doesn't have to do it gladly, though.
And the members of the collective are eager students plucked from the dismal daily duty of lectures and labs to pose as staff members at Genzoya Noodles, whilst observing guests. Excited to enhance their transcripts, they thrust their all into the job, going above and beyond to impress Professor Maddox in their roles. Still, science students are very different from drama students. The one slight slip in character could have catastrophic consequences for the experiment.
As previously mentioned, the counter-service dining experience lends itself to a linear narrative broken up into stages. This forms what is known as a branch and bottleneck storyline. Each stage leads off into several independent options before regrouping at each of these predetermined stages: entrance and ordering, seating and eating, and disposal and exit.
Our layout is a two-story building with plenty of opportunity for spatial exploration and large amounts of seating. The order points are found at the entrance before entering into the main body of the building. Noodle slides inspired by those in Japan line the ceiling, enhancing the futurism of the decor.
Oh, another one. May I take your order?
They're all good options, maybe.
I may have all the time left in the world, but I don't want to spend it listening to you debating the merits of udon versus soba. When ordering, customers engage with Maggie, the saltly sardonic AI, selecting order items from a menu via touch, while she, infuriated, prompts them to hurry up, using prompts from a designated script. As customers check out, a buzzer is dispensed, which will form the controller for the game. During the ordering process, customers have an option to pay a surcharge for an additional buzzer. As the buzzer is dispensed, Maggie gives a cryptic clue about what might be happening at the restaurant, provoking guest curiosity and sending them towards their first interaction point.
We have chosen to offer an Asian-based cuisine inspired by the prevalence of ramen within the sci-fi canon and in the fast food industry. However, for practical reasons, we've changed the ramen to stir fry, offering a selection of build your own ingredients. Each ingredient is later tied to an attribute revealed within the narrative. Alongside this, we also have a set menu items, which include fungi-inspired dishes, fitting in with the design of our restaurant. Our drinks include the normal variety of soft drinks, as well as thick plant-based milk bubble teas, representing Soylent, another sci-fi-based item.
Lastly, we have insect snacks, which are both available as premium topping on the stir fry and in vending machines dotted around the restaurant. After eating, guests will see that all main meals have written on their packaging a random direction to a new exploration point, which will lead them to a new narrative branch that they can use their buzzer to explore.
Taking a functional device commonly seen in the restaurant business, we have integrated the interactivity into the buzzer. Not only will it vibrate to indicate the food being ready to collect, but it will also serve as the mechanism for activating the space and engaging with it.
Customers will be able to hold the buzzer up to certain interaction points, unveiling new information and mini-games, which will establish and enhance the gamified experience.
One such interactive point is the napkin dispensers at the table, into which the buzzer can be inserted to reserve the table.
After ordering, guests are encouraged to explore, engaging with the surrounding restaurant while they wait for their food to be prepared. As they explore, they learn new information.
Different interaction points are indicated by a small sign, and guests are invited to point their buzzers at these, unveiling new information or a minigame to play. These minigames serve as part of the plot, under guise that the guests are being tested to see their attributes before and after eating.
Many of these interaction points will also be consequential, helping to uncover hidden points around the restaurant. Here is a sample from the story map based upon Maggie's prompts, where you could see how some interaction points lead to others and the variety of these, with 3 information reveals, 1 puzzle, and 1 minigame.
In line with the biopunk setting, it is important to us that our restaurant is sustainable as possible. As such, we will endeavour to be waste-free, using compostable packaging wherever possible. Where this is not possible, we will be using recyclable materials.
At the end of our guests are invited to dispose of their waste before exiting. At this point, there will be a collective member who will evaluate their disposal decisions, rewarding them with points if they dispose of things in the right place. Here, they will return their buzzers to this member of staff.
Throughout our experiences, photo opportunities are really important to us. We have divided these into 2 subtypes, guest-led and formal.
Guest-led photo opportunities are found throughout our attraction. These provide guests with the Instagrammable moments that they can share with their friends. These moments encourage further exploration from guests, provoking them to engage more deeply with the narrative and rewarding them consequently. It also creates user-generated content perfect for marketing opportunities, both via guests and from our own social accounts.
The formal photo opportunity provides something different from the guest-led opportunities. As the guests exit the restaurant and have given their device to the member of staff, they will see their genetically modified selves with new alien features, concluding the narrative regarding genetic modification. They will then be able to receive digital copies of the images with this modification, providing them with the digital shareable souvenir. Additionally, there will be a surcharge for a hard copy.
Thank you so much for listening. We invite you to ask any questions.
Awesome, great job.
So when you guys, I guess a couple of things kind of stand out to me here a little bit. One is you guys went out of the box thinking with regards to doing counter service while everybody else did type of table service. So that's great. But one of the things, one question I have is the games that you play and things like that in a counter service location. You know, once you place your order, it really comes out pretty quickly. So your gaming timing may not, the amount of time that you have to play the games and do all that, it's probably pretty limited. But yeah, go ahead.
So we envision this to be similar to an attraction investment for a theme park. So instead of a standard fast food location, such as a burger restaurant, where it is indeed in and out, we hope that this will act as, instead of just a necessary part of their day, also acts as an extra attraction to add to their itinerary.
Yeah, so within that, the food time is factored in based on the fact that knowing that guests will want to spend time interacting. So that will be slightly held back. And then also they're invited to interact again once they've finished dining. Got you.
And then I'm just curious, did you all think about how large of a restaurant you all were thinking? Like how many seats?
So with this concept, we didn't want to pin it down to a singular theme park, but rather a theme park. Just generic, but we were considering, again, depends completely on the scale of the theme park, probably between 400, 500 seats.
Okay.
But again, this concept could be easily changed for the scale of the theme park we would be interested in inserting this into.
Okay, and then the environmentality piece is really good. So that's really positive to see that. So
okay.
Thank you.
Awesome, great job, Team 12. Judges, go ahead and write down your comments on that. We'll give you a moment.